The warning: the sun beat down on the cracked, golden surface of Death Valley like an angry god. Temperatures soared to 127 degrees Fahrenheit, but the air felt even hotter. A vulture circled lazily above, watching the lifeless stretch of land below as if waiting for something to die. Inside a small, humming research trailer near Furnace Creek Drive, Lena Carver adjusted her sunglasses and peered at a dusty digital map. Her research, funded by a grant from the American Climate Archives, had taken an unexpected turn. Another spike, she whispered to herself. Same time every year, for the past 12 years. The temperature anomalies, once dismissed as glitches or natural variation, formed a perfect triangle on her heat scans. At the center was a dead zone, an area devoid of data, as if the Earth itself resisted being measured. Her assistant buzzed in from the radio. "Dr. Carver, someone's here. Claims he's from Reyes Desert Tours. He said you requested him." Lena smiled. Right on time. She packed her field laptop, locked the case, and stepped out into the furnace. The guide, Malik Reyes, looked like the desert itself, weathered, dark-skinned, and radiating a quiet toughness. He leaned against a beaten-up Jeep Wrangler, arms crossed, sunglasses reflecting the searing landscape. Lena approached cautiously. "You're the survivalist?" she asked. "I'm the guy who gets people into the valley and out in one piece," Malik replied. "You're the scientist trying to chase ghosts in the sand?" "Something like that." She handed him the files, satellite images, temperature logs, and ancient survey maps. "This area here, see the dead zone? No thermal, no seismic, no satellite readouts. I think it's natural camouflage. Something's hidden there." He raised an eyebrow. "Hidden? Maybe ancient architecture. Maybe a cave system. Maybe nothing," she admitted. "But you're betting it's worth risking lives?" "I'm betting it's the biggest find in desert archaeology in a century." Malik nodded slowly. "Then we'll need more than just the two of us." They met Ethan North in a private lounge at McCarran Airport in Las Vegas. A billionaire tech magnate known for his bold investments and obsession with climate tech, Ethan had read Lena's abstract and offered funding, on one condition: he goes with them. Ethan's smile was charming, but his eyes were cold. "I'm not just signing checks," he said. "I have a personal stake in this. If your theory is right, what you find in that valley could change energy systems forever." Lena hesitated. "This isn't a gold rush." "No," Ethan replied. "It's a race against extinction." Lena and Malik exchanged glances. Malik didn't trust him, and Lena didn't blame him. But without funding, they weren't going anywhere. The technician. They picked up Emily Tran in San Francisco, a data analyst and drone tech genius. Barely in her 20s, she'd already cracked encrypted government weather satellites for fun. "Don't worry," she said, boarding their flight. "If there's anything buried in that desert, I'll find it. From above or below." Malik rolled his eyes. "Hope your gear survives the heat." Emily grinned. "Hope you do too, tough guy." The team was complete: a climatologist, a soldier, a hacker, and a billionaire. What could go wrong? Into the unknown. The expedition launched at dawn. Their convoy consisted of 3 off-road vehicles, dozens of solar-powered drones, food and water for 2 weeks, and enough gear to outfit a small military unit. They crossed Zabriskie Point by midday, surrounded by sun-scorched ridges and salt flats that stretched to the horizon like a dry sea. Lena stared at the horizon, her eyes narrowing. "Whatever's out there," she said, "it's waiting for us." Malik added, "or it doesn't want to be found." First contact. On the 3rd day of the expedition, the sun was a blazing eye in the sky, unmoving and cruel. Even with cooling suits and sunshields, the heat drained them. As they neared the dead zone, Lena's sensors began acting up. "Drones can't maintain GPS locked," Emily said. "And I'm getting thermal interference." Malik stopped the convoy. "That's not normal. It's like something's jamming the signal." Lena reviewed the instruments. A strange pulsing signal, rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat, came through the seismic reader. "It's not interference," she whispered. "It's alive." The Mirage Ridge. By sunset, they reached an eerie formation, tall, razor-sharp rocks jutting from the ground like the spines of a buried creature. Malik climbed the ridge to scout ahead. What he saw took his breath away, a basin, hidden between canyon walls, green with faint vegetation. Impossible in Death Valley. He radioed down. You won't believe this. There's water up here, but when the others climbed to see it, there was nothing. Just shimmering air and sand. A mirage, Emily said. No, Malik replied. I saw it. I touched it. Lena shivered. Death Valley is playing tricks. Or warning us. Bones in the sand. Near the edge of the dead zone, Ethan found something unusual buried beneath the sand, bone fragments, human, but ancient. Beside them, obsidian tools and what looked like a copper disc etched with strange markings. Emily scanned the disc. It's not Native American. These symbols, they're older than anything I've seen. Lena knelt beside the remains. Whoever they were here long before the modern desert formed. This was once a valley of life. Ethan looked at the copper disc with a glint in his eye. This changes everything. Heat storm. That night, a violent heat storm struck the camp. Winds whipped the tents into the air. Static electricity crackled in the sand. Emily's drone array fried instantly. The team scrambled for cover. It's like a desert hurricane, Malik shouted. Lena clung to her case of samples, shielding them with her body. Ethan vanished into the storm, chasing a flickering light. When the storm cleared, Ethan was found collapsed, clutching the copper disc and muttering. They buried it to protect us, not to hide it. The map below. In the aftermath, Emily scanned the copper disc again using short-range pulse scans. It's a map, she said. Not of the surface. Of tunnels. Under us. Cave systems? Lena asked. Maybe. Or ruins. They decided to reroute the expedition to the central marking on the disc. Malik was reluctant. Every desert has secrets, he warned. This one buries its dead in silence. Descent. They found the entrance at the base of a rock outcrop, a narrow shaft partially caved in. It smelled of sulfur and old air. Ethan insisted on going first. We're not turning back. Inside, the walls were smooth, shaped by intelligent hands. Symbols lined the stone, not hieroglyphs, but a language of shapes and frequencies. Emily recorded everything. Lena took soil and air samples. The deeper they went, the cooler it became. This isn't natural, Lena whispered. The echoes below. They reached a large chamber, shaped like an inverted dome. At its center, a platform surrounded by broken crystal structures. It looked like a data array, ancient yet advanced. Lena powered on her scanner. The crystals reacted, lighting up in pulses that matched her heartbeat. Then they heard it. Voices. Not speaking, echoing thoughts. Fragmented images. A dying world. A warning. Emily collapsed, nose bleeding. Malik caught her, eyes wide. They were trying to escape something, she gasped. Climate collapse. War. They came here, to hide knowledge. Sabotage. That night, Ethan tried to remove one of the crystals. The chamber reacted violently, shaking, lights flashing red. A blast threw him across the room. You idiot, Lena screamed. These aren't relics, they're part of a system. Ethan lay unconscious, crystal embedded in his side. The chamber began to collapse. Get out, Malik yelled. They escaped just before the tunnel sealed behind them. The desert took back its secret, for now. Ethan injured and one of their jeeps damaged by the storm, they were stuck. Emily's solar drone couldn't fly due to the interference. They were alone. Malik fashioned a temporary stretcher. Lena stayed by Ethan's side, unsure whether to hate him or pity him. We shouldn't have come, she muttered. But Emily pointed to her drone feed, one final image before it went dark. A structure deep underground, glowing with power. There's more, and it's waking up. The path forward. Lena gathered the team. We have two choices. Call for rescue and leave this unfinished, or continue with only what we carry. Malik frowned. Ethan won't survive another descent. He doesn't have to go, Lena said. We do. They buried the copper disc beneath a cairn of stones. If we're going deeper, she said, we're going as students, not conquerors. The beacon. 2 days passed as they camped in a shallow ravine, repairing gear and rationing water. Emily calibrated a last resort emergency beacon, but she wasn't sending a rescue signal. It's a locator, she said. For the structure we saw underground. Something's emitting a low-frequency pulse. Malik shook his head. I've led dozens of trips through Death Valley. I've seen mirages, caves, animal graves. But this? Lena touched her pendant, her late father's dog tag. There's a reason the stories say this place is cursed. The second entrance. They followed the beacon's pulse through a canyon where compasses spun uselessly. Eventually, they reached a ridge of black glassy rock, a collapsed lava tube. At the base, another entrance, hidden by centuries of wind-blown sand. Malik cleared the path and uncovered what looked like a mechanical lock. But instead of gears, it reacted to Lena's heat signature. With a hiss, the door slid open. Hall of Echoes. Inside was a vast corridor etched with symbols and faint lights pulsing in the walls. As they walked, their footsteps echoed unnaturally, as if something else walked with them. At the end, a room with holographic projections of Earth. One showed the Ice Age. Another, the current climate crisis. A final projection played an image of fire sweeping across continents. Cities submerged, air unbreathable, then darkness. Emily whispered, "It's a record. From the past, or the future." The message. In a circular room, a crystal orb lit up, reacting to their presence. Emily deciphered the data using her portable interface. "It's a message," she said. "Encoded in pulses. Ancient civilization. They predicted climate cycles. Warned us centuries ago." Lena stood still, heart racing. This is why they buried the vault. They weren't trying to survive, they were trying to warn the next civilization. The power core. Beyond the message room, they discovered what looked like a fusion reactor, dormant but intact. Unlike anything human built, Ethan, though still injured, demanded they extract it. "This is technology the world needs," he gasped. "Clean energy. No emissions. This could change everything." Lena shook her head. "It's not ours to take. It's a gift, or a test." The collapse begins. As Emily attempted to map the vault's full structure, tremors rocked the chamber. The system was unstable, likely triggered by Ethan's earlier sabotage. A wall caved in, and toxic gas hissed through the cracks. They rushed to seal the area but lost most of their supplies. Malik shouted, "We need to leave. Now." But the exit was blocked. The descent below. Forced to move deeper, they found a vertical shaft leading downward. With makeshift harnesses and ropes, they rappelled one by one into the unknown. At the bottom, a massive subterranean lake, glowing faintly blue, like liquid moonlight. Emily scanned the air, breathable, but just barely. Lena stared across the water. "There's something on the other side." The Forgotten City. Hidden beyond the lake was a vast underground city carved into obsidian rock. Spires, arches, and homes, abandoned, yet preserved. No signs of decay, just silence. "They lived here," Lena whispered. "Not just hid, lived." Murals told stories. People leaving a dying world above to start a new underground. They built the vault, passed down knowledge, and disappeared. The entity. In the center of the city stood a monolith, alive with light. As Lena approached, it pulsed and sent images into her mind. Firestorms, extinctions, wars over water, and then, humans standing beneath it, pleading. It was an AI archive, the last sentient guardian of the vault. "Why do you come?" the monolith asked in her mind. "To understand," Lena replied. "Then choose what you carry forward." Ethan's betrayal. While the others slept, Ethan attempted to hack the AI and extract data. He triggered a defense response, a gravitational wave that fractured the chamber. The AI warned, "You are not worthy." Malik tackled Ethan and restrained him. "We can't control this," Malik growled. "We can only survive it." Trial by fire. The AI activated a final test. 3 passageways, each marked with a different symbol: knowledge, sacrifice, and courage. To escape, they had to choose one path and complete the trial. They chose courage, the path of heat. They crossed chambers filled with superheated stone and blinding light. Malik carried Ethan on his back. "We're going to burn," Emily cried. "No," Lena said, "we're going to remember." The door of memory. At the end of the trial stood a crystalline door. When Lena touched it, it scanned her memories, her childhood, her failures, her hope for redemption. "You have seen the future," the AI said. "Will you warn the world, or let it burn?" She answered, "We'll warn them." The door opened. Escape. A tunnel led them back to the surface, through layers of ash, sand, and finally open air. They emerged beneath a starry sky, breathless, change. Emily marked the entrance with a digital beacon, encoded and hidden. Ethan was unconscious, dehydrated. Malik carried him across the dunes. The return. 2 days later, a rescue chopper found them, sunburned, limping, alive. They said little to the authorities. Only Lena and Emily submitted a redacted report to the UN Climate Council. They didn't mention the AI. Or the warning. Not yet. The broadcast. Weeks later, Lena gave a speech at a global climate summit. "We stand at the edge of our own death valley," she said. "What we do next determines whether the vault we leave is a warning, or a promise." The screen behind her lit up with the message they found. "Earth endures. Only its stewards change."